All right, with that being said, okay, we gotta get to some wrestling talk. Really crazy fucking week. It was SummerSlam week. So I want to start with the Raw stuff. I think I'll start with the Seth Rollins thing that happened with CM Punk. So the topic is Seth Rollins, SummerSlam swerve, and cashing in. So if I'm sure everyone knows what happened at this point. If you're a wrestling fan and you're listening to some random wrestling podcast that you bumped into on your YouTube stream, you are a crazy wrestling fan. So as you guys know by now, Seth Rollins was out injured. It seemed like a major injury. It seemed like they were going in a major different direction, right? For a few weeks, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed were being showcased in a different way, that they thought they might have to replace Seth Rollins for an extended period of time, or at least this is what the fans thought. And then at SummerSlam, Gunther lost to CM Punk, hard-fought match. CM Punk is like dead. And then Seth Rollins' music hits. He comes out on crutches. That was a cool moment, though, when he put his hands out and he dropped the crutches and he was okay and the crowd went crazy. And he went and cashed it in. So there you go. What did you guys think of that? Robert, were you tripped out? Were you honestly tripped out or what?
It was unreal.
Is that sarcastic, Robert?
Definitely not material here that will be definitely not material here that will be used in a documentary on Netflix anytime soon. Okay, so I saw the cash in come. I had a feeling Seth Rollins would cash in. I just didn't know which title. Well, I didn't know if it was gonna be for the World Heavyweight Championship or the one that John Cena was holding, the WWE Championship. But I had a feeling the injury wasn't, or if he was injured at all, that it wasn't as severe as they made it look, and that the swerve was coming and he was going to cash in on one of those main events. Well,
so you were not that surprised, you're saying?
No. I just wasn't sure which title he was going to go after. That's all.
Well, did you think it was well done then? The whole idea of the swerve, and was he really injured? I don't think he was injured at all. I think that whole thing was a work, and him doing the backflip and getting his knee hurt. I think they planned all that because they talked about Plan B before that segment on Raw. That was supposed to be like his, you know. He couldn't figure out how to get the titles. Like, we're going to execute Plan B. Remember that? You guys remember him saying that?
Yeah.
So then this thing happened. And then on the promo last night, this past Monday, which I just reviewed this morning on my live stream today, he said, yeah, I had to go back and do Plan B. So he even said this was, I guess kayfabe, he said that this was a swerve, that he wasn't actually hurt. But
I just thought of this right now, actually. I didn't think of it until just now. I think it's funny how CM Punk mocked Drew McIntyre for his very short title reign, right? When he held it for like a couple minutes and lost it at WrestleMania, and now here it happens to CM Punk in SummerSlam this year. So that's hilarious.
Yeah, but Drew McIntyre, that was his own doing. Like, he was arrogant.
Well, true.
And then,
but still, they're both very short title.
CM Punk couldn't do anything here. There was nothing he could have done. Like, he was already spent in the ring. Unless he ran away, he should have ran away. Like, he should have.
That's what I was thinking.
Out of the freaking. That's what anyone else would have done. Just run into the crowd or something. Like, waiting for this long ass. It's not like he was dead on the floor. He was on his feet.
And one thing that made me certain that the cash-in was going to be successful is the referee didn't act dumb, like they didn't know what to do with the damn briefcase. Like, what do you want me to do with this? 1 minute later, oh, you want to cash in? Okay. No. The referee knew right away. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a successful cash-in.
Well, yeah, once they came out and they did the whole dramatic thing where he dropped the crutches, it was going to happen. The cash-in was going to happen. But okay, Vlad, you got any thoughts on that whole segment before we talk about the other stuff from SummerSlam? What do you think of this whole thing with Seth and his stable getting the world title?
Well, I think the swerve itself, or the reveal, was pretty well done. I don't know if they had that whole thing planned out, though, because if they did it very kind of, I don't know, unnecessary. Like, okay, he faked an injury and then lost a match. Now, he must have really got hurt, but it was probably like what Robert said in the beginning, not as bad as it appeared. And yeah, I mean, I think the sight of it, the image of him just kind of dropping the crutches and running to the ring and all that stuff was pretty cool. And obviously, because there's already a history between Punk and Rollins, the hatred, the rivalry, it added to it. It added to the moment. I liked it, but yeah, I don't think it was a planned out thing. I think they were worried that he could be out for a while, and then it was revealed probably after further testing that he's not going to be out that long. It's not as bad as it appeared. And they changed the story because they wouldn't have had him lose like that to LA Knight as a thing. No. If it was just, if that was supposed to be part of it, I don't think so. So I'll give them some credit, but I don't give them like credit for stuff that I don't think they did. Like I don't think they're like, well, yeah, we're gonna go so kayfabe. He's gonna fake this injury, make it look really real, take the loss, then come back in a couple of weeks and really swerve the crowd because he's A-okay. So it wasn't shocking because there was already talk about it. There was already online talk that he's coming back. That's the reason it wasn't shocking. But the way they did it,
I wasn't paying attention to none of that. So it was kind of shocking to me, I guess.
Well, even Cornette talked about it before that. Like there were talks, about it, so that he could come back. Like, and Cornette was debating that if that happens, cool. But the way they did it, as far as the Saturday night main event, was not great. That's really the plan. That was the plan all along. That was kind of weird. But anyways, it was good. Personally, and this is just me, I would have preferred the show without him. I actually think Braun Breaker as the lead dog is better.
That's what I was going to say. I was waiting for you guys to finish talking. That I was going to say I was so happy with the show for those couple of weeks when he wasn't there. I was like, this is going to be a good few months.
I honestly think it's better without him. And they were going in the right direction.
Yeah, this past Monday.
And now I think we're back to him cutting those long, boring promos that he did on Monday.
This past Monday, yeah, exactly. It was fucking boring.
I like Heyman and I like the group, but Rollins as the leader, I never saw it as a great fit as a group. That's why I was always like, prior to WrestleMania, when there was like that talk of Heyman joining Rollins, I don't see it as a fit. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like debating like how that could even work. And it's been okay, but now it's been proven for the couple of weeks that he was out. I'd rather see Braun Breaker. Honestly,
I know, dude. Guy. I'm with you. And this kind of crosses over into a conversation we were going to have later, where I was going to ask you guys, what's the state of WWE? How's it going? You know what I mean? And I guess this is the Raw portion where it's like this is going to be the main storyline, Seth Rollins, which we knew after WrestleMania. Right. This is just a continuation of the Seth Rollins stable storyline. He's the champion now after SummerSlam. So how's that been going? It's been going, like Vlad said, it's been going okay, but I liked it much better with Braun Breaker as the leader and where they were going with that. That was pretty dope, I thought, because Braun Breaker is a legitimate badass, and I like the way he talks. Like Seth Rollins' promos, I think, are just the issue that he thinks he's so important that he talks forever. So that's the only thing I have against Seth Rollins.
Breaker talks like Scott Steiner, and that's what I like about it.
Exactly. All right, well there you go then. But yeah, on the topic of this, like the execution of this swerve and everything, it was to me the best thing on SummerSlam. Because the next night I wasn't really fond of, which we will talk about next. But yes, so okay, I think we'll table that discussion of the state of WWE, Robert. Unless you have anything you want to throw in about how you think this thing has been going with Seth Rollins' stable, and how Raw is going, because we're gonna go jump to the SmackDown stuff next with Cena and Cody and the WWE title. So before we exit Raw, what do you think? You have any last thoughts?
I mean, I just I'm not a fan of Seth Rollins' character. His promos
Like,
are okay,
Have you been liking Raw with him as the main character and their stable as the main storyline since WrestleMania?
how have I been liking it? Not very much.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
So the Raw half of the story in terms of WWE, you don't get too excited about these days. All right, so okay,
not
let's